Vikings and Patriots are the same record. I didn't even realize that. I was like, wait, I thought the
Vikings are.
Patriots were way better.
If the season ended today, the Vikings are in, man. It's insane.
And the Patriots aren't?
The Patriots are not. We're 3 spots out right now, which sucks. We've got the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens ahead of us.
You mean the
Um,
Las Vegas Raiders?
Yes, sorry, Las Vegas Raiders. Scott would be so upset with me. I've got customer Scott. Shout out to Scott. What's up, Scott? How you doing, buddy?
Also, Armani would be upset with you because he's a big
He's
Raiders
a big
fan.
Raiders fan? No way, I didn't know that. What's up,
Yep.
Armani? I didn't know you were a Raiders fan.
Yeah, and he's also a rapper too. So you there's a lot of things you might not know about the guy.
Armani's a rapper? I did not know that.
Check him up on SoundCloud. His name's Manny F.
Manny F. You're gonna have to send it to me. MANNY.
I will.
Space F.
MANI space F. Short and sweet, baby.
Yeah, dude. If it wasn't for the NFC East, and like the Western Conference, man, that division is trash this year.
Oh yeah, with what is it? The Jets.
Giants.
The Giants are top
the Jets
seed,
are
right?
in our division. The Jets are in our division, man. Jets are 0-12.
Dude, I'm just so happy that the Giants beat the Seahawks.
I know. That was actually a huge, huge win. Another big one was freaking the Washington football team. The no-name football team beat the Steelers for their first loss of the season. What the hell?
I think we should just call them the Redskins again. I don't know. I don't know. I know you're not gonna have a comment, but I mean, I was watching the Tom Green, like the JRE with Tom Green.
Oh, nice. I love Tom Green, man. Isn't it so cool what he's doing?
Yeah. I love that stuff, man. I love when actors and like actresses and like people like of comedy or whatever the popular is, they just kind of just, they're like, screw this. I don't want Hollywood anymore. Like, let's just do my own thing. I love it.
Yeah.
But back to the point where the name of the football team, dude, it's like, man, everyone, and I'm not going to say this where it's going to affect me at all. I'm just saying everyone in 2020, even 2021, probably everyone's just too damn sensitive.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to explain anymore. I'm just, because you know why? That's like an unbiased like statement where no one can really understand where I'm coming from, but I'm just saying y'all need to start eating some real proteins, get in the gym, and stop being so sensitive.
I think they should be the Washington politicians, man. I think that'd be so funny.
Or just just name something. Like I just think it's hilarious that they're just called a football team because they couldn't think of a name or agree upon a name.
Yeah, and they still like have a, man. I think it has some dope colors. If they were, they would like be like the blackout team. I think if they were the Washington politicians, so it'd be like, their home jersey is like all black, and then their away jersey would be like all white. I think it'd be pretty.
Yeah, because they don't really have a team like that, right?
No, I don't think so. I think the Raiders are probably the closest, black and silver.
Yeah, it's pretty much like all over the place. I kind of like their colors though because it's like what, maroon technically. It's not really a red.
Yeah, and yellow.
Like yellow. I like those colors.
Yeah, they work. They're like, they're weird and they kind of clash and whatnot. But yeah, they got some. I think their away jersey is kind of weird. It looks okay, but I don't know. I forget what. I think Auburn. I think it looks like Auburn's, but I might be way off. Football fans.
No, I think
practice in the comments.
I was about to say Gainz Nation. What football fans do we have out there? What fans are you guys? What team fans are you? Honestly, ever since we talked about this before because Roman knew a lot sooner than most of the people on like the Gainz Nation. But like when we were moving there, like when we decided to move to Arizona, like dude, like we're watching like every Cardinals game. Like it's actually pretty fun to watch. I love watching but when it comes down to it, like I'm glad that they lost last week because it only helps the Vikings get that wild card spot. So as much as I want to see the Cardinals succeed, Vikings are not a better team than the Packers right now. So we have to rely on just trying to walk in somehow, right? Yeah. That's like the Pats right now this year too, right?
Seriously, we have to win out to just like have like even like a moderate likelihood of getting in. Yeah. But
I mean, most fans probably that are most people. Well, it could be both. It could be Patriots and Bears fans that probably watch this.
yeah, that's true.
Um,
That's true. Gainz Nation, what are we talking about today other than football? Because I can talk about football forever. We're
yeah.
talking about.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted me to say it or you to say it.
Yeah, you go, you go, you go.
Yeah, I was. So we're actually going to talk about when your favorite potato chips, when you reach into that bag and for some reason, you chew on them. They're a little bit weird texture. They taste kind of funky, and they're just plain stale. Let's just give you that, Roman. I just thought it. I wanted to introduce it that way, and of course that brings us to the episode 57 of Gainz podcast today. When something gets stale, when a movement gets stale, when your lifts are just getting stale, what do you do? What specific movements that we're going to go over and kind of see if there's any other movements that you can kind of work around and talk about or like just do overall, as well as maybe you should throw that bag of potato chips out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
like
the point.
yeah, that's a generic topic we're going to be talking about today. And also too, like, man, I know you were trying to get off the side notes, Roman, but like, man, I am so happy to be back in the gym, dude. It's like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Ever since like last year, I kind of weaned off pre-workout. I haven't been taking caffeine like I'd say at least 6 hours out before bedtime, man. It's just like it's like another animal. Like it's like I came out of retirement. It's only been 8 months, but like holy shit, like the lifts are amazing. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting that soreness again that no one really likes, but like like the DOMs that like you just like get like from doing those lifts that you couldn't get at a basement gym. But
Yeah.
holy cow, man, everything is so smooth. Like my body, I hit 270. I know everyone's like, Antoine, like you've deadlifted, but I deadlifted 275 for 5 reps yesterday. That's the most I've done probably since like March or February. So like to be able to touch that weight yesterday was amazing, and like
Yeah.
it felt smooth as like butter.
Nice.
You slice butter, and that's how it felt.
That's awesome. Yeah, heck yeah. I know. I'm kind of so like I actually went reverse. I want to check out gyms in the area, but it's kind of cold in the Northeast right now, and
I mean, but shirtless and working out with a dog, like nothing beats that. Like, have you guys been checking out Roman's posts lately? Like, dude, if I had that opportunity, like, I mean, Pino never went down in the basement, but like, that's pretty dope. Like, I mean, that's pretty cool. And you're in a different environment from where you're at previously too, right now. So
yeah, and my brother will give me a spot, and he does a good job with that. So I can't really like push the weight. Like it would be fun to like put 300 on my back for squats and like see how many reps I could get. But like I've been doing like the most I can do because it's like literally to the end. I'll have to like film like just how ridiculous it is, because sometimes if like the orientation of the plates is a certain way and like I don't like really like push it, the 5-pound plates are hanging off the end. The most I've been able to fit on the bar is 217.2 pounds. It's like so ridiculous.
Yeah, at least it's pretty fun to watch though. Like if you saying like the bar bending and stuff, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't think I'll ever experience that like the real life aspect of it, like throwing like 600-700 pounds on a bar, but that's pretty cool. And also too, Roman, I know I'm throwing another side note before we start this thing, but hey, who cares? This is our show. It's no one else's, right? Besides me firing you before we started and rehiring you back onto the Gainz podcast. But Roman, we actually lied to the listeners this whole year.
Snap. Yeah.
We were supposed to do a powerlifting meet together, and we did not.
I know. I think.
And it's December. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. We can do a remote one.
No,
I could just
no.
hit up the.
I'm thinking we plan on hopefully coming back so far in June next year. Maybe somehow, some shape or form, maybe we can like do something. Well, also other parties need to be there as well. But maybe we could like hit that up in 2021 in June, maybe.
Let's do it. I'll come out to Arizona and we'll find a spot.
Well, I mean,
or we'll do like Utah or something.
well, I was gonna say,
somewhere
I mean, I'll
close.
be in Chicago. We'll be in Chicago in June, hopefully.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
depending on how long. I mean, we're gonna probably be out there for a bit, but I know that's the one time we're coming back. So as long as you're there,
Okay,
Roman, we could set something up in Chicago, dude.
that'd be sweet. That'd be sweet.
But yeah, I just wanted
That
to
should
throw that out
be.
there. When you were talking, it just hit my head. I was like, wait, it's December and we didn't. You, Billy, and I were supposed to do a powerlifting meet, I thought.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to discuss. Yeah, sorry about that, Gainz listeners. We were looking into it. I was looking into it, but man, COVID kind of derailed everything. There were so many things I was so jacked up about, like back in February. Like I was supposed to hit 300 for a triple, which is like, I mean, I've done more before, but I was like really pushing the weight. So I don't know, my max probably would have been around like 345, 350 for squat, which was like progressing towards my goal of 400, like really well. Deadlifts was kind of stale, which we'll talk about with deadlifts get stale. Uh, but I mean, I hit 345 at like the end of 2019, so I was pretty happy with that. And I was like, oh, 55 pounds, like I got that easy. Like I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll have 500 by the end of 2020, which was like definitely a stretch. And then I was like, oh, 300 for bench. I got to 225 by 5 for bench, like the most I'd ever hit. Like when I was just like totally insane, like years ago, was 225 by 1. So like I quintupled that. So I was like really stoked for all the PRs I was hitting, and then the pandemic hit, and I mean I like went insane with like at home workouts, but it just is not the same, and like strength
Yeah,
drops off, and
definitely not. Yeah.
yeah, like gyms like opening, closing, like doing like mini like vacations or traveling and whatnot. So I'd say like overall I'm like happy with like where I am like currently, physique wise,
But you
but
did like some things you never really did. You went backpacking.
yeah,
You
true.
actually lived off the land for a little bit. Like you are
Side of the
able
land.
to you're able to work, back home and like see
Yeah,
people that you haven't seen or your family. So,
yeah.
hey, bless up.
Yeah, 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 true, true, true. It was yeah, it's like it's given perspective, I think for everyone, to say the least. Yeah, so 2021 is our year, folks. That's what we're trying to say.
Where things aren't stale in the pantry and we're going strong.
You know what I should do? I'll just say it now, because I've been like having such a hard time incorporating deadlifts because it just like the like stimulus to fatigue ratio is just like so high that I've been struggling with it. I've like committed that I'm gonna throw it on back day as a like a physical reminder of this podcast. I will switch from conventional mixed grip deadlifts to trap bar deadlifts. I'll work on that, and I'll see if I can get up to 315 for a triple on that by March of 2021. That'll
Yeah,
be my goal.
yeah,
To,
and like trap bar deadlifts aren't a bad thing. Like, dude,
yeah,
like yeah, I used to hate on them because like I was like, oh yeah, you're not deadlifting, you're just trap bar deadlifting. But like the stress and everything else is like, I feel like you can like utilize your legs more. Like you can
yeah,
kind of you can feel that like leg press movement when you're getting
exactly.
engaged.
Yeah,
So I mean, I don't know. I think that's a good goal for you. I mean, if like hey, like we tell people like if if you're not feeling it, like try something else. Like what's there a problem about you trying trap bar and hitting 315 for a triple?
yeah. So the reason why I I'm like committing to doing that, and I'm like being silly that I'm gonna do it for like the Gainz listeners, but also like to show you that like it helps. That conventional deadlifts was getting a little stale for me, and I was just finding that it was beating myself up, and it was like hard to recover and do the other things that I was trying to do, like really push bench. Like I'm really happy with where bench is. Like my chest has never been this big. Like I've never been able to like push this weight for like the reps. Like I PR'd like 185 by 12 not too long ago. Most recently I did 217.2 by 4, which I like put up. So yeah, like that's going really well. Squats like I'll have like surges of it. But one thing that I've done recently is I've kind of cut down the volume a little bit, and I've added in different movements, squat like movements. Like in my gym in Chicago, we have it's on a cam, and it is a hack squat. So it's a hack squat on a cam. So it doesn't rely on a sled, but it relies just on like one single arm, and you just load it up with plates. So it's pretty dope. You can like get it pretty heavy. I'll load it up with like 185 or 225, and I'll do like 10 to 20 reps. And I just like sit deep into like the squat. So you can't get like any more range of motion than you're getting. And I get like a really, really good stimulus to the quads. So it's been like a really nice movement for growing the quads. And it's taken off a lot of the strain that like a barbell back squat would give me, typically speaking. Yeah, so I will do the trap bar deadlift to kind of mix things up, still push my deadlift up there, and then I'll transition back sometime, and I will say like April, and then hopefully we have vaccines that are widely spread. We can get a powerlifting meet on the menu, and I can put up some big numbers.
Wait, so are you pro or anti-vaccine? I want to make sure you answer the wrong way so people can come at your life.
Neither. I will say I probably won't take a vaccine to start. I'll wait to see like what happens. I think like it's
So you're a
probably
follower, not a leader.
Yeah. Definitely in this situation. I think it's gonna be like the zombie apocalypse. So I better get going on like my gun permit. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, doesn't matter. I'll just go to Walmart like when the shit hits the fan, and I'll just get like a 12 gauge, and I'll blast like all these zombie bitches away.
Wow, I love how you can throw you so off topic when you're just so serious and everything, and then it just goes to that.
Yeah. No, hopefully it'll be fine, folks. Pfizer is reporting like 95% effective rate.
Pfizer or Kaiser?
Pfizer.
Oh.
P Pfizer.
Yeah, P Pfizer.
Allegedly, they actually have vaccines in the States. They like landed at O'Hare last week or the week before. Pfizer is just like awaiting the FDA to give them like the thumbs up. I think once again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be like behind the times. This could be like old news. I think probably the FDA is waiting to see what the UK's version of the FDA is going to report, because they gave the go ahead for Pfizer, and I think that they're like inoculating people in the UK now. So I think they're being a little bit risk averse at the moment, which is like totally understandable. If things like, if the shit hits the fan and like people really do like get sick from it or something like that, people become like zombies, then we can be like, all right, we have like 3 days before like the zombies make it to, the United States, before they learn how to fly and all that shit. Or like we say like, okay, yeah, like a lot of people are getting sick from this vaccine, like we should probably keep like in like the fourth phase of like the vaccines.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make you answer these weird questions. One more before I chime in with the stale comments. Which one do you think people want more, PS5, Xbox Series X, or the vaccine?
Probably PS5.
Oh gosh, well, it's literally almost as hard as to get a vaccine. You know that, right?
Yeah,
it's like impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, to like Roman's point, how he's switching things up. Another example, I wanted to kind of bring my own example in here too as well, with the topic of like, specific lifts being stale, maybe your training's being stale, kind of something. First, I want to say like, first things first, you want to take an overview of like your current training, seeing what your goals are, kind of match them up on what you're doing, and then see how like the lifts are going, as well as like, hey, does this work for my plan? Does this work for me? Blah, blah, blah. So on a reverse situation, so since Roman was talking about like everything before COVID, I want to kind of talk from a perspective of COVID to now, because me like going back to the gym from like 8 months ago. So I was, obviously I talked to Roman on like almost like a daily basis. So I pretty much was like, hey, and you, if for the listeners, you probably know this. I've been doing full body workouts 5 days a week, pretty much for about like 44 to 45 weeks now. So a pretty good amount of time. But see, the thing is, when I start, and Roman, and I probably didn't even talk to you too much about this, but when I started this, if you guys remember in January and February, my shoulder was banged up. Everything like overhead or like flat press or like bench, there was like something going on. I took some time off. I wasn't doing a lot of things. I wasn't doing like Arnold presses. I wasn't even doing barbell overhead presses. So mind you, with that going on, that was like the beginning of the full body 5 days a week. So by the time like my shoulder was actually feeling better, and I think my lower back was my sciatica was kind of kind of out there when it comes to like not really like fully functional, fully healthy. But like right when I got into the actual full body program, like that's why I kind of reflected off what I messaged Roman, and I was like, wait, is it stale? Does this still align with my goal? Yes, it does. And then I started actually doing the training back in the gym. So I'm on my third, I did, yesterday was my third full day back in the gym when it comes to actually lifting in an actual gym facility. And I was starting to do them, but I wasn't like, and I look at my previous numbers from like the first, 8 to 10 weeks. I didn't have that much numbers to really prove. So I actually went in there and I'm like, holy shit, this is like pretty much a new plan because I don't have that lower back issue bothering me and my shoulder doesn't bother me anymore. So like to that point, I wanted to get kind of a reverse situation where like because of COVID, I was doing so much of like hypertrophic movements, like we explained previously, like 20 to 30 reps on like squats, deadlifts like 20 to 30 reps because I only had like 135. So like I came from all of that to like like, hey, like since I get to go back to the gym, I have the luxury and I have the health to go back to the gym. Like, hey, I don't have to do that shit anymore. And I'm kind of glad because I was getting sick and tired of, like Roman was saying, like, going back and forth. You get sick and tired of doing like rope pull downs for 100 reps on triceps. So it's like, it was, that perspective. I was telling Sam, and I'm just like amped. Like, that's why I'm like, you could tell in my voice and like my attitude right now because like, and I've been texting Roman and another good friend of ours, and like I'm like a little kid in a playland again. I'm just like I'll fucking work out for 4 hours again if I can, but I can't. Yeah. Physically you can't. But like it's really good to reflect on like that stale behavior where you're staying so consistent and so like standardized, if that's like a good term to use. Like you just want to switch things up and you want to get out there and do something else, because I'm not that kind of guy that likes to like do the same thing over and over again, even though I think that it'll work sometimes. Because like I said, I've been doing the full body thing for 44 weeks, but now it's like a whole different thing, even though I'm doing almost the similar things but like different movements. So yeah. All in all, Roman, I'm sorry to over talk you, but yeah, that's pretty much the sum up.
That's all good stuff. Yeah, no, I like it. So I would say that's all good stuff. Like if for like injury prevention, like it's always good to mix things up from time to time. I know Renaissance periodization, they recommend that. So you can do it like mesocycle to mesocycle. You could do it when something like, starts to get boring, stale, like, oh man, I don't want to do this movement anymore. Switch it up. That's a great time to change up like your program, your lifting plan. You can do it if you just like want to get like re-energized like in the gym, like if you're getting like sick and tired of a certain movement pattern, or just generally you're curious about trying another one. I would say try to stick with the same plan for beginners at least 8 weeks, I'd say. If you're past that, then like 4 to 6 weeks is like fine to switch some movements in and out. I wouldn't constantly try to be switching things because the goal is progressive overload. You want to see consistent progress in lifting either more weight, more reps, or a combination of the two, adding more sets and keeping like the same amount of like reps, whatever it might be. But you want to see some sort of progression from time 1 to time, N. the last time. It's hard to do that when you're constantly switching. So whereas we're advocating when things get stale, switch things up. That doesn't necessarily mean like switch things up every workout. You want to stay consistent for a period of time so that you can track your gains. And you don't have to have like a log. I think it is very helpful. And I think, if you're getting into like gym culture or fitness culture, it's a good way to like, it's a good metric, and it's a good way to like help yourself feel proud at like the end of the year to be like, whoa, I started off by squatting like 95 pounds by 5 reps, and I'm squatting like 165 pounds for 9 reps now for my first set. Like, that's amazing. Like, it's really cool to see that progression over time. And then obviously, like, it's awesome to like, check yourself out in the mirror and be like, damn, like I look good now.
Would you say checking yourself is better than wrecking yourself?
They probably go hand in hand, to be honest with you.
Honestly, I think I asked just as good of questions than JRE to his guest. Sign me up. Hey, Jamie, can you pull that up? Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Quick side note before we wrap it up. It's so funny. Listen, I love Joe, but it's funny when he like when he's just spitballing about something that he like kind of knows about, but like doesn't like really know like all that much about something. So I watched a clip on my break today of him like talking to his guest about like bodybuilding and like natural bodybuilding in particular. And he's like, there's no such thing as natural bodybuilding. And what he meant is that like the guys are significantly smaller, like.
And well, he also means like the scene of it, like everyone's perspective, like to you and I, we know what natural bodybuilding is, but if you ask like someone that went to the gym, like didn't record and wasn't that, they're just in it to get fit, like they don't know what natural bodybuilding is. They're like, does that guy work? He looks like an average guy, and then this guy looks like Ronnie Coleman, Well, go ahead.
I mean, like people, you're not gonna most likely you're not gonna look like Phil Heath. Like Ronnie Coleman was a monster when he was natural. I think he got up to 220 pounds before he started using performance enhancing drugs. So like, I mean, but he's obviously like the greatest of all time. He's the king. So not everybody's gonna have that kind of genetics. But I don't know. It was funny listening to him talk about it, because it's like, I don't know. I'd like it if he was like an advocate, because he has had some like really cool bodybuilding greats on there, like Ronnie Coleman, like Dorian Yates. So it'd be cool if he could advocate like enhanced bodybuilding is like unbelievable. Those guys like go through like crazy shit to get to like the sizes
and crazy like, risk.
Yeah, huge risk, huge risk. And they do it because they love the sport, because they love like working out in the gym, because they love this pursuit. Like this gives them meaning and purpose in life, and that's what like most of us are in search of. So I think that that's something that I hope is like allowed to continue for as long as it does continue, because obviously there are risks when you take like certain substances, but I mean up to the individual.
Also, because I'm back in the gym, dude, I saw an unnamed person. I don't know their name anyways, because I just moved here. The person had a road map on their back and their face, but hey, that's your life, buddy. Like, good for you that you could deadlift like 600 pounds, but I don't know if a partner is ever gonna want that out of somebody. So hey, like it's there's the risk and rewards, like Roman was saying. Like if you're genetically like perfect or beyond perfect, like maybe that's the route for you. But I mean, like someone like Roman and I, we know our family history. Roman's family, not mine. We don't have Olympian athletes, that went to the Olympics. Like we know for sure. Like we know we're just trying to look better than average. Okay, guys, like, leave us alone sometimes.
I'm just not even like I mean, I obviously like I do compare myself to like other like physiques, or I try to find physiques that like would match up with my own. But like I'm just trying to better myself. Like that's what I love about like bodybuilding, like powerlifting, just like working out, like by lifting weights, resistance exercise training. I mean, in general, because it gives you such a phenomenal opportunity to like do better and be better than you are or were before.
Yeah, dude, and that's all it is. So episode 57 is in the books, folks. I know I tell you this after every episode, but go ahead, like and follow Roman's YouTube channel. Go find us on Instagram. We're all on every video and audio source you can find that's available to your iPhone or Android. Don't want to be disrespectful. And also too, like just and if you guys have any other questions about like the nutrition side, I always forget to mention, hit my wife up, Samantha. Her Instagram handle is Coach Coletta. We're gonna get her back online on the Gainz podcast and a little bit more in tune on the nutrition side. So we'll have like another branch of communication when it comes to the Gainz Nation. So just be on the lookout for that, guys. Thanks for always tuning in and watching us. We'll see you on the next one. Deuces.